Our PAX Unplugged coverage is brought to you by Ivy Studio and Mythic Mischief. Hello and welcome to PAX Unplugged Day 1. It is Friday. I'm here. I'm Maddie, and I'm here with... who is this? Live in person. It's Chase.
Yeah, local boy Chase Carter here, reporting with the Dicebreaker team. Yeah,
that's so exciting. We're here. We've had a fun day so far, action-packed. We've done some panels. We did the Game Awards, which you can obviously check out. You should definitely do that, see who won. It's very exciting. But first, let's just dive straight into some of the games we played.
Yeah.
Chase, we went and looked at Blaseball.
Yeah, I went and played Blaseball, which is it's the game that is an adaptation of the internet phenomenon, weird gonzo thing, Blaseball, by, I don't know, it's hard to explain Blaseball, and it's harder to explain how they made it into a card game. If you're not familiar, it's sort of like all statistics, but also there's like the sun is angry, and players get erupted into fire, but then get reborn, and also peanuts fall from the sky. But in Blaseball Wild Cards, which is the card game adaptation of that, it just focuses on the last inning of the all-star game between like the good guys and the bad guys.
Okay.
So it really takes that experience of a Blaseball game, action packs it down into one inning, and then lets two players face off for the championship title. I think one of the coolest things about this is the artwork, which does draw a lot from the really vibrant fan art community. They brought in a bunch of, like, I think 9 or 10 artists from the community to draw the art for the cards.
I love that. When I came and filmed it, so I don't know anything about Blaseball, but I was there for fun. The art is incredible.
Yes.
Like, normally a sports statistics kind of spreadsheety game, I would not be interested, but I was like, okay,
Yeah.
I love this. There's a shark person. There's many things happening.
There's a woman with 6 arms, and she pitches very well.
I bet she does.
So the way it plays out is like you will roll 2 dice, and you're trying to like use that with a score modifier to like either like pitch a ball, hit the ball, and then if it goes into the outfield, you need to like your one catcher needs to try to catch it before you run enough bases.
Okay.
And so there's like opposed dice rolls are sort of the center of everything. But from there, you can play extra cards from your hand that just sort of introduce a lot of weather effects, zaniness, and just outright, like I said, just sort of like gonzo, weird things that makes it typically Blaseball.
I definitely got that vibe from looking at it and seeing. It was weather and stuff. I love that. That's so cool.
I think it's going to be like a really nice way to encapsulate the feeling of it without having it be this like inscrutable internet object that's very difficult to interact with and understand.
Yes.
And it's just like a very small game that plays within about 45 minutes, which I think is a really nice
that's great.
Yeah.
I love when you can crack out a game and have it done in under an hour. That's so satisfying.
Yeah.
It's great.
I'm really looking forward to it. I think it's a great job, and the team behind there has like the blessing of the original creators, and they're going to try to keep up with the internet game as it sort of like continues to evolve.
Oh, that's great. Yeah. Well, for any people who are fans of the very niche internet phenomenon, or you like weird zany sports, that could be the one for you. That's very, very
totally
fun.
agree. Yep.
Moving on to something I played, which is very different, but art is also equally great. It is Boop. It's a game about being cats. You are originally kittens on a lovely bed. The board is like a plush little quilt. So you're moving along the quilt squares. It's
adorable.
Incredible. Yeah. You are little kittens on a quilt. And basically, you're trying to match 3. You know, it seems that simple. Mm-hmm. But the problem is you need to get your little kittens and you need to evolve them into big, chunky cats to get your match 3 successfully. Now, to do that, you have the little kittens, and they can go on, and once you line 3 little kittens up in a row, you can get some chunky cats. But every time you're trying to do that, you're also playing against someone else. Mm-hmm. So me and Matt were against each other, and if you place a little kitten, someone else places one next to it, it boops them a square. So it boops them like diagonally or like forward or back, and you can boop them off the bed. Oh no. It's fine, they're okay, there's loads of cushions, it's okay. This is animated very clear, it's fine. But so you're trying to boop each other and you're moving each other around the board. So trying to line up becomes suddenly very difficult.
I can imagine, yeah.
So you're just booping kittens around. Kittens can boop each other. Big cats can boop kittens. Kittens can't boop big cats, obviously. And yeah, it's basically like strategy. They also made Shobu, and they basically shared its like Shobu 2, but
Ooh, interesting.
it's cat themed. Have you ever played it?
No, I haven't. I'm wondering
No.
if like is the cuteness like overriding like the actual strategy, or do you feel like it's really nicely balanced?
It honestly, like, it is a really good strategy. Like, I was drawn in for the cuteness, and Matt was drawn in for the cuteness and the strategy, like a real board game person. But it's honestly really fun. Like, the strategy is really interesting. Like, there is complexity there. Like, as soon as we finished, I was like, I want to play again because I can see how I could change things.
Yeah.
And turns change really quickly. Like, it looked like I was doing really well, and then Matt just did a couple of boops, and then suddenly he won. It was really fun, and it's adorable.
Yeah, that sounds great. I would love to boop little kittens with my chunky cats.
Yes.
Like that's as much of a sell as I need.
Exactly,
Yeah.
literally that. Yeah, that's everything. It's so adorable. I'm sure you're enjoying lots of the B-roll right now. It's just booping around. It's fantastic. And now a word from our sponsors.
Hey folks, we're Inkwell Ideas. We're here at booth 3507 at PAX Unplugged. We've got a new product debuting. It's called Encounter Builder City Scenes. It builds off our best-selling side quest decks that we've done before, where every card is its own mini adventure. But in this case, each card gives you the setup for a random encounter. You just deal out a few of these and you connect them. You look for inspiration between them. For example, you might have an explosion that happens at an execution, and maybe this shifty person is behind it. Every time you deal these out, you're going to get a different set of cards, so you're going to get a different setup for a random encounter. We'll be here all weekend at PAX Unplugged. We're booth 3507. These are also available on Drive-Thru RPG. If you search Inkwell Ideas there, Encounter Builder, you'll find them. And our website is inkwellideas.com. Thanks.
We are Rove by Addax Games. We are a brand new publisher. We'll be launching on Kickstarter early 2023, and we are a cooperative campaign game for 1 to 4 players, where you'll be playing as one of these beautiful rovers. You'll be playing in a grid-based map against different enemies, and we have a unique hand system where you will be flipping cards for your different actions, and it is a progressive story-based game where you'll be choosing different paths, and you'll feel differently the weight in your decisions of what you're doing. You can find us at Addax Games everywhere, online on all social media, Facebook, Instagram, and you can also find our website, Addax Games, and be sure to follow us on Kickstarter.
But the next game we played is a very fun party game.
Yeah, that's right.
It is kind of a fun story.
That is the name of the game. Yeah, it's kind of a fun story, which is a party game in the sort of like, you know, apples to apples, Cards Against Humanity. But
Yes.
this is more about sort of like you draw a card and there's a prompt on it, and sometimes it's a like individual prompt, like you need to share a story, or it could be something that the whole table shares. Like everyone gives a certain fact, and then you vote on whoever we think is like the best one. And then some cards have you choose between the person on your left or your right to sort of like, is this like, I think the one I got was like, who is more likely to cheat on a test? And I had to choose between you and Liv.
You did.
Who's the biggest cheater? I think y'all both ended up admitting to being little cheaters, but
I know, I said I'm a big rules follower.
Oh,
Because you
okay.
gave it to Liv, and then you were like, was this accurate? And I was like,
I guess correctly.
yeah, I think it was good. I think it was fair.
Yeah.
The opportunity's there, I'm gonna take it.
Yeah, and that's fair. Whereas, you know, I get very stressed in tests, so I'm going to be sitting there anxiously. But it's like if you want to play like a fun, really quick party game like Cards Against Humanity, but you like want everyone to have a good time and like enjoy themselves and feel comfortable and happy. It's great. It's just a great way to get to know people because you're just sharing stories, and that's kind of like how you become friends with people is sharing stories. But this is a great kind of like organized way to do it that feels really fun.
Yeah, the wrinkle on that, like the sort of classic design that I really like is they give you 3 cards. There's like a note card which allows you to just sort of like ixnay whatever was said, whether it's a judgment or like a decision, and you can just throw the note card down and be like, I have a problem with that. Or it's a hang on a minute, or like where you can sort of interject and be like, I think I've got a better thing.
Yes, because the way you're winning points is collecting these cards.
Yeah.
So you can collect them by telling a story or by someone saying, I think you are more likely to cheat in the test, so live and get that card and get points, which is really nice. But there's also, because of the note card, a great atmosphere where, it doesn't feel like you have to do anything. You know, story prompts came up and we were like, no, we're just going to pass on that and pick the next one. And it's very smooth and it doesn't feel awkward or anything. It just feels really nice.
I think for new groups, it's going to be a really good game for you to get to know people because you can sort of interject and maybe be wrong, but everyone can laugh it off and you like share stories. And for those groups of friends that do know each other really well, those cards then become weapons to be like, I know that you're pulling a long one. You are spinning a yarn and I'm going to step right in.
Yes. It's great. It's really fun. Yeah, I'm very excited to play that with like any type of friend group. Like into board games, not into board games. With family, apparently there are some R-rated cards, but you can just take those out, and so you can have it age appropriate for anybody, and you can just tell certain stories.
And you can skip cards if they make you uncomfortable.
Yeah.
So there's always like, if you don't want to answer something, there's never an obligation to like deal with the card you drew.
Yeah, so I think you joined the table slightly later, and your first card was who was your first crush. So if you're in a family situation, you're like, I don't need my parents to know this, then you can just skip ahead and it's fine, and it feels really easy.
It's just a really great game to have around, so no one pulls out Cards Against Humanity or Apples to Apples again.
Yeah, so when someone pulls out Cards Against Humanity, you turn up to a party, you're like, actually,
this one's a lot better.
This is much more fun.
Yes.
Everyone will you just feel great after playing it, which is really nice, which is kind of what you want from a game. You don't want people to leave the party feeling sad and stressed.
Oh, yes.
Which is so really fun, but we played one last game, which is Cult of the Deep.
Yeah.
I wanted to say C, but it is Cult of the Deep. This is a hidden role game. You are all different types of like cultists, I guess, and you are trying to basically have your cultish desires come true the best. So the way you might be doing this is you are trying to kill off other cultists, but obviously it's a hidden role game. You don't know what other people are except the High Priestess, who has to reveal themselves at the beginning of the game. And some of the ways people win is by them dying. Some of the ways people win is by them being alive. So you start to see who's attacking the High Priest or High Priestess, and the roles kind of start being revealed a little bit. Then the other things you can do are there are rituals you can kind of join in, complete, or rituals that can kind of be bad for you and take life. You know, you could be going and working towards a siren and getting these kind of siren coins that you can spend to do stuff, or there could be like a blood ritual going on that the closer it gets to the end of the ritual, whoever has that turn at the end loses a load of life. You're kind of like
big explosion.
Yeah, you're like bargaining with your life basically. You're dark, evil, Cthulhu kind of cultists bargaining with your life. That's how you can you can trade your life for things like coins from you, because you're a merchant as a character.
Yeah, like my role was I could trade, because like you have like your hidden role that you keep hidden, and then you have like your character role, which gives you certain extra abilities. And mine as the merchant is I could trade my own life for coins, and then the coins could be spent. There was two different ones. You could spend them to like either redistribute dice, so you could like after someone said like, oh no, I'd like to complete this ritual and then attack this person for so much damage, you're like, actually, I think I want to do something different with your dice.
Which is very fun. So at the beginning of people's turn, they are rolling dice, and then everyone can kind of affect that if they want to, which is, by damaging people, by you kind of spending a coin and changing things.
Yep.
It's very, it was fun. It was just, it's at the first, I think we were kind of playing like the first round kind of cautiously because it was hidden roll, and then Matt dove in and attacked our lovely High Priestess Mian, and things all kicked off, and then everyone was kind of just going at each other's throats, which was really fun, and trying to work out who was who, because you were like playing all sides.
I tried, yeah.
It was very fun.
I think it's a mark of a good hidden role game where as soon as someone comes knives out, everyone's like, all right, gloves are off, let's go.
Yeah.
Like as soon as that timidity like hit the floor and we got rid of it, the game really opened up, and you could tell like the interaction between the different sort of like the life total as like an economy that you needed to spend and save. It really made for some interesting decisions.
It did, and the other fun thing about this being a hidden role game where you're trying to kill people is that if you die, you're not just out trying to watch people, because obviously like if you're the High Priestess and everyone's just trying to murder you, you could die pretty quickly, and the game might not have ended yet though. So you come back as a wraith, where you have basically your own pool of dice, and what you can do is when other people roll dice, you can swap their dice out with one of your dice. So you can either like help them and like give them blood tokens, they could heal themselves, or you could give them daggers so they get damage, basically.
It was a really nice sort of thematic, is like a ghostly hand reaches out and touches your shoulder. And so like, it's just on other people's turn, the wraith gets to sort of like do spooky little things. It's a nice touch.
It is.
Exactly.
It's fun. It's nice. That's pretty much it though. We haven't played anything else yet, but you need to stick around.
2 more days.
Because we're going to be here for 2 more days. This is Friday. We've still got Saturday and Sunday. We've still got loads of things to play and do. We're very excited to get that out there. So make sure to stick around here and subscribe, hit the notification bell so you can see other things that are happening. But that's not the only PAX Unplugged content you can get. You can head over to Dicebreaker.com, where you see more from wonderful chasers on the editorial team who are doing articles as things are being revealed at PAX.
Yeah, absolutely. We just did an article about the Gloomhaven RPG that you should check out, which was announced here at the show.
Yeah, so news that is happening literally like within seconds. We are here. We are on the ground, seeing what's happening, reporting on it.
Got my reporter hat on. I'm scoping it out.
Having a look. Right, we hope we can see you guys tomorrow, but until then, I hope you'll have a lovely day. Bye!